Okay, so hello everyone. Today is our first class on report to speech. I hope you all had a great weekend. And today we'll see report to speech, what it is, how do we use it, how many types of report to speeches there are, and we won't go too deep into it, but we'll have the basis covered. So, report to speech. What is report to speech? Well, just some examples. Have you ever had to tell your friends if your parents give you permissions to go out? Have you ever had to quote or cite, better said, an author on a school paper? Have you ever had to tell your parents that your friend or your family said hi on the phone? Well then, if you had to do any of those things, maybe you're more familiar with report to speech than you think. Well, how does report to speech work? When we use report to speech, we have two choices. We can use direct report to speech, and we can use indirect report to speech. When we use direct report to speech, we are presenting a statement, or we are presented with a statement usually, and let's say the statement is in any sort of grammatical time: present simple, present continuous, past perfect, and then it transforms into a different grammatical time. So we have to learn how to take this statement that is in this specific grammatical time and then transform it into this other grammatical time. It sounds a bit complicated, sounds kind of like math, like a formula. It really isn't. We just have to get used to it. And again, I'm sure we are all more acquainted with it than we think. Now we'll see some examples of how to make this transformation. Sorry for moving the camera, I just need the lighting, it's a little bit weird. So, present simple to past simple. I'll read the examples and try to explain them to you. So here are the examples from certain times. In this slide we have the present simple, present continuous, and present perfect to make them into a past version of this statement. I still haven't explained how to distinguish direct from indirect speech, but maybe after we have this done, you can recognize by yourself after the class in which sort of report to speech these statements were turned to. But as a fun fact, I think I also explained it in the direct speech slide. But the first statement, like the one that you are using, the one that is being turned into report to speech, that's also sometimes referred to as direct speech. For example, the first example here, in present simple to past simple, I woke up in the morning, that can be considered direct speech, because that's the sentence, the pure sentence, is still not being turned into report to speech. So I woke up a lot in the morning, this is someone else telling you that, and you're telling this to a different person. So Jerry, the person that told you that, said that he walks a lot in the morning. So this is present simple to past simple. So I woke is in present simple. So this is what Jerry is telling you now. And when you are quoting, well, you're not quoting. When you are repeating this, reporting this to a different person, you say, Jerry said that he walks. So you are conveying that he said it in the past. Sorry again for moving the camera. Now, present continuous to past continuous. My dog is on a walk. So, in present continuous, you're describing a situation that's going on right now, that's currently happening. So, I am currently talking to you. Well, I'm not. You're watching a recording, but let's use our imagination. So, this person says, my dog is on a walk. So their dog is currently on a walk and they're telling you this. So you go and tell your other friend, she told me that her dog is on a walk. On later slides, we'll see that adding that to a reported sentence is not an obligation, it's completely optional. Sometimes you just add it because it sounds better. And the third example on the on the present slides is present perfect to past perfect. So, present perfect, the first sentence, the direct sentence is I've gone to that store. Like, I've done this before. That's what the sentence is conveying. And the report-to-speech version of this sentence, that is in past perfect, says they said they've gone to that store. You're telling another person that this other person told you something they have done before. So the direct version of this present perfect sentence is something that this other person has done before, and you're telling a different person this information. Next slide is the past examples. So, past continuous, past perfect, and past simple. So that's how they all start. So in past continuous, the direct sentence goes from that to past perfect continuous. The example sentence in this one is I was playing video games last night. So this person is telling you something that they were doing in the past. This person is telling you something that in the past was currently happening. So we can say that this piece of the sentence might have been taken out of context. So let's make up something to fill it up. I was playing video games last night and then I heard a noise. So that would be like a full sentence, a full story that someone will be telling you. And they're saying that at the moment they were continuously playing video games until something made them stop. And then, of course, in the report-to-speech version, this is past perfect continuous. You tell this other person what the first person said. She said she had been playing video games all night. When you use past perfect continuous, you have to add had been. So it's actually past perfect continuous. In the second example of the past is past simple to past perfect. So when you say past simple, you are saying something that already happened. In this example is I stayed home today. So these are all things that I imagine you all have seen in years past, but it's good as a refresher. Past simple, something that's already happened. I stayed home today. I already did that. Like, this person's telling you this and it's already night. So they already stayed home. They're not going out. They didn't go out. They already stayed home. The report-to-speech version of this, so to make it past perfect, is he said that he had stayed home today. So you're telling this to a different person, and you have to add the had. So is something. So it's conveyed that this person did this thing. It's done, and it's in the past. And the easiest one, past perfect. That one just stays past perfect. In the example, I had a nice meal. She said she had a nice meal. It's just past perfect. And the last one would be future simple to conditional. This is the only one in the future. So this person is telling you something they're going to do. I'm going to bed. And you tell this other person what this person is going to do. He said he will go to bed. So then it turns into a conditional. You have to add the would. So here in this part, there's a simpler version of everything that's just being explained. You can take a screenshot of it, of course. This is everything that we have already seen in the examples. So, but you can create the examples. There are other examples here, and I'm sure it'll help. So just take a screenshot of it, and we keep going with the class. So now, direct speech. Sorry. We use direct speech when we quote directly the words that someone else is telling us. So, in the example of the first slide, I mentioned that we use reported speech also when we are trying to quote someone on a school paper. And do you remember the APA norms? I don't know if you guys have seen it. But in APA, you have to write something directly from a text and then create it to the author. So, happy birthday to you, Shakespeare. So when you quote it, then you're using reported speech. In these examples, sorry, we have a direct quote. I must leave. I left the oven on. She said. So you quote it and then you add that someone said it. Excuse me. Excuse me, she said. There you go. And a direct statement that we already went through is just the sentence itself. In this case, I left the oven on. I have to leave, and then you would turn that into reported speech. In the example that I just told you before, that's this same sentence turned into reported speech, into direct speech. So as I already told you guys, I'm pretty sure that we've all used direct speech. It's just repeating what someone said. When we use direct speech, it has to be. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this expression, but it's verbatim what someone said, and then like adding that someone said it. Verbatim means that it's the same thing, and then you just add that someone else said it, like in the example. So now, an activity. Of course, I don't know if you're watching this with a classmate, but it would be great if you did this activity. So can you try using direct speech? I'll read the activity rules for you. Choose one of the activities below. You have to tell your classmate what you're doing using direct speech. After that, you and your classmate will quote what the other said. So preferably there will be like a couple, 2 people saying this. So the activities are brushing your teeth, listening to music, watching a movie, cleaning your room, cooking, or doing homework. If you are doing something else and you don't like any of these activities, you can absolutely say something else. So I hope it was clear. You can pause the class now and try to do this activity. And at the end of the next explanation, we'll also have a similar activity. So now we have indirect speech. When we use indirect speech, we don't have to quote exactly what the other person said. You just have to get the idea of it. So if you didn't fully understand this class, didn't fully memorize it, which who does that? And someone else that hasn't watched it ask you what did Miss said in this class. You'll just say the things that you understand. You won't say exactly the words that came out of my mouth. So when we use indirect speech, we have to just get the idea of what the other person said and then turn it into reported speech to a different person. We can implement indirect speech, very easily actually. So let's do something. I'm drinking water. Now, let's imagine that your parent comes through the door. They see me drinking water. I just told you I'm drinking water. Your parent asks, "What is she doing?" And what do you say? I'll give you a few seconds. if you said she's drinking water or my teacher is drinking water, you will be absolutely correct. Not only because you're describing the action, but because I told you. If you describe the action, that's not exactly indirect speech. But because I told you I'm drinking water, and then you said, oh, she's drinking water, then you're implementing indirect speech. In my opinion, something that we all do. So, next activity, just like the one before, I'll read the instructions. Can you use indirect speech? I keep mixing them up. Choose an activity that your friend is doing and tell us, using direct speech, that they are doing it. If you don't like any of these options, you can make an activity on your own. So the options are, I'm watching a movie with my brother, I have to go to my sister's wedding, I went out shopping, my dad helped me, and today is my dog's birthday. So you have to implement indirect speech with any of those activities. You can do them with a partner or just do them on your own, just whatever works best for you. And some closing thoughts. I think the easiest way to see reported speech is gossip. I'm not sure if you personally like gossiping, but we all talk about things and we all talk about people. When we gossip, we usually want to get things right. So if we're saying what someone else said, like, oh, she said that her clothes were really ugly, we are using reported speech. And so sometimes we would want to put verbatim the word, what the other person said, and sometimes we would like to have just the basic idea of what this other person said. So we're implementing direct and indirect speech. So just keep in mind, if you're ever gossiping about anyone, a celebrity, an ex-friend, someone that you just don't like, you are using reported speech. So, thank you for paying attention. Thank you for paying attention. If you have any questions, you can contact me through my email. The email is on the classroom page, but you can see it on your screen too. And have a great day. Have a great rest of the day. Yep. See you. Bye.